Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदानेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रिये नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। बोलो श्री राधे गोलोकानंद भगवान की जय। बोलो श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा रीना जी। हरे कृष्णा जय।
हरे कृष्ण सर। हरे कृष्ण जी।
हरे कृष्णा ईशा।
हरे कृष्णा।
Right. So back to श्रीमद् भागवतम। हम लोग अध्याय 10th पढ़ रहे हैं of 6th स्कंद, yeah, and we were on 16th श्लोक। तो वेनसडे को हम लोग 16th श्लोक पढ़ रहे थे, और जैसा कि इस अध्याय में हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं, इंद्रदेव along with देवतागण, he starts to fight with Vṛtrāsura, yeah. जैसा कि हम लोग देख रहे थे कि like Indradev, takes out the head of Rishi Vishwarup, even though Vishwarup was the highest Brahman, right? Highest tapasvi. And his father is Tvashta, right? But the mother was from demon side, so he had some soft corner for the demon. So when he was doing the Havan, he was doing 2 ahutis for Devatas and then 1 for demons. Indradev realized that, and then he took out the head of Vishwarup. He realized that he has done a big sin in terms of, killing a Brahman. But then Tvashta, who is his father, he wanted to take that revenge from Indradev. So he starts doing a big tapasya and yajna. He doesn't do it right. And then a Vṛtrāsura is born, right? Out of that, a demon. And he's also known as Indrashatru, because that's the purpose by which Tvashta was doing that yajna. Yeah. And then when Vṛtrāsura is born, Devatas are again scared. They go back and do the prayers to Lord Vishnu. Yeah. So they again do the prayers to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu again asks Devatas to go to Dadichi Muni, because Dadichi Muni had taught the Narayan Kavach, actually, and his body is so strong that Lord Vishnu asks Devatas to go to Dadichi Muni and ask for his body. And then tells that Vishwakarma will actually create a Vraj using the bones of Dadichi Muni. So Devatas go to Dadichi Muni, and Dadichi, for the benefit of Devatas and for the world, agrees to give up his body for to make the Vraj. Vishwakarma makes the Vraj, and then Indradev starts to fight. Yeah, and that's what we are reading right now. So the battle between Indradev and Vṛtrāsura is what we are reading right now. And the Shlok 16th is what we read last week. It says that therefore at the end of Satyug and the beginning of Treta Yuga, a fierce battle took place between the demigods and the demons on the bank of Narmada. Yeah. So it says that fierce battle, Rana is battle, Paramadarun hai, fierce battle took place. Sur and Asure, yeah, that is between Devatas and Asurs. And when did it take place? Treta Mukhe.
Starting of
That is the beginning of Treta Yuga. Yeah, and we know there are 4 yugs, right? What are the 4 yugs?
Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapar, Kali Yug.
Kali Yuga, yeah. So there are 4 yugs, and all 4 yugs together is known as a kalp. Yeah. In Brahmaji's day, like this one yug, one cycle of yug is known as a kalp. Yeah. And so beginning of Treta Yuga, which is of course end of the Satyug, the battle took place at the bank of Narmada, and it's mentioned that the bank of Narmada is not the one on earth. There are 5 rivers which are also flowing in the upper planets, including Devlok. Yeah, and Narmada river is one of them. So that's where the battle took place. So actually a nice purpose. So we'll just read it again one more time. Prem sir.
Here in the Narmada does not mean the Narmada river in India. The 5 sacred rivers in India, Ganga, Yamuna, Narmada, Kaveri, and Krishna, are all celestial. Like the Ganges river, the Narmada river also flows in the higher planetary systems. The battle between the demigods and the demons took place in the higher planets. The words Prathme Yuge means in the beginning of the first millennium. That is to say, in the beginning of the Vaishvats Manvantaram. In one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus who each live for 71 millenniums. The 4 yugas, Satyuga, Treta, Dwapar, and Kali, constitute 1 millennium. We are presently in the Manvantara of Vaivast Manu, who is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Imam Vivaste Yogya Proktavan Aham Avayam Vivasvan Manve Praha. We are now in the 28th millennium of Vaivastha Manu, but this fight took place in the beginning of Vaivastha Manu's first millennium. One can historically calculate how long ago the battle took place, since each millennium consists of 430,000 years. 4,300,000 years, and we are now in the 28th millennium, some 120,400,000 years have passed since the battle took place on the banks of river Narmada.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So a lot of facts are mentioned here, I think, which we should try to remember if we can, right? So one is there are 5 rivers which flow in the higher planets as well, not just on Bhulok. Yeah, we know there are how many loks are there? 14 loks. Yeah, in this universe there are 14 loks. We are on the 7th lok, Bhulok. The highest lok, as we know, is
Satyalok.
Is the Satyalok, Brahmalok. So Vaikuntha is beyond the materialistic world, right? So this materialistic world has 14 loks, and Vaikuntha lok is in the spiritual planet, which is beyond the materialistic world we live in. So this universe, the highest lok is Brahmalok, where Lord Brahma resides. Yeah, so Lord Brahma resides in the materialistic planet, which is the highest on the Satyalok. And we are on Bhulok. But in between, we have other 6 loks, right? Like Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha. Yeah, so Bhuva, Swaha. Then there is a Tap lok, there is a Jan lok. Yeah. So all these 5 nadis, Ganga, Yamuna, Narmada, Kaveri, and Krishna, are also flowing in the higher planets. Ganga river, we all know, came out of Lord Vishnu's feet. Yeah. So that's one thing to remember. The other thing is this Kalp and the Yug, right? We already saw there are 4 yugas, right? Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapar Yug, and Kali Yug. And all these together constitute 1 millennium. 1 millennium in Hindi is known as Kalp. Yeah. So it's 1 Kalp. Now, the other important fact which is mentioned here is in one day of Lord Brahma, there are 14 Manus. Yeah. So like we are descendants of Manu, right? We always say, "Hum log Manu ki santan hai." There are 14 Manus in one day of Lord Brahma. Do you remember how long is one day of Lord Brahma?
365 billion years.
So 4,032,000,000 years, right?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
1 day of
Just
Lord
1
Brahma.
billion years.
Yeah. So 1 day of Lord Brahma is 4,032 million years, right? And in 1 day of Brahma, it's mentioned that there are 14 Manus. And the current Manu, which is the 7th Manu, it's mentioned here, right? We are presently in the Manvantar, right? Each life of Manu is called a Manvantar. Yeah. And we are presently Santan of Vivasvat Manu. So Vivasvat Manu is the current Manu. Yeah, who is the 7th Manu in 1 day of Lord Brahma, which has 14 Manus. So we are in the halfway through of this day of Lord Brahma. Yeah. Now, what is being mentioned again is, so we are in the 28th millennium of Vivasvat Manu. So now in one Manu's time, there are 71 millenniums. Yeah. So I'm repeating those, so we'll somehow remember at some point, right? Some mathematics, but this is all quantitative facts, which are very interesting. All these things come together. Like if you really see, all these numbers come together, right? So we see 14 Manus in 1 day of Lord Brahma. For each Manu, there are 71 kalps, 71 millenniums. What is a kalp?
The combination of 4 yugas.
Right, yeah. So one kalp is a combination of Kalyug, Satyug, Kalyug, Dwapar, Treta Yuga, and Satyug. Now, it's also mentioned how long is one kalp. Somewhere it's mentioned, right, in this paragraph also. How long?
4,300,000.
Correct, yeah. So 4,300,000 years is one kalp, which is a total of all 4 yugas. So if 4,300,000 years is one kalp, how many kalps are there in 1 day of Lord Brahma?
14 times 71.
Yes, 14 times 71. That is the yugas, right? 14 times 71 times this. Right. Sorry. This is 1 millennium, right? 4,300,000 years, which means 1,000 millenniums, right? If you multiply this by 1,000, it will be 4,300,000. There are also some time in between, right? So it's 4,032 million years in 1 day of Lord Brahma. So in 1 day of Lord Brahma, there are 1,000 millenniums, 1,000 kalp. Yeah, where is 1,000? 14 Manus, 71 millenniums. So if you multiply 14 by 71,
994.
yeah, almost 1,000 kalp, right? So that is where it comes from. So 1,000 kalp. So 1,000 times 4,300,000 is 4,032 million years in 1 day of Lord Brahma, right? So now we know, we start with Lord Brahma's 1 day, 14 Manus. Each Manu has 71 millennium yugas, kalps. Each kalp has the 4 yug. Yeah. And this, you see how the whole mathematics come together. Yeah. And then you remember, I don't know if you remember, how long is Kali Yuga? Yeah. So Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. Then Dwapar Yuga is, if you add 432,000 to each of the yugas, you have the duration of the next yuga. Yeah. So you have 432,000 in Kali Yuga, 864,000 in Dwapar Yuga. And if you add 432 to 864,000, it's around 1.3, 1.2 million years. That is how long Treta Yuga. And if you add 432 to that, it's around 1.7 million approximately Satyug. Yeah. And if you add all these things together, how long that will be?
430.
4,300,000 years. Yeah. So you see how each term is defined so clearly and everything comes out together so nicely, even mathematically. Yeah. And then it's also mentioned the Lord Brahma's age is also mentioned. So Lord Brahma also lives in the millennium, in the materialistic world, right? Highest planet. Lord Brahma's age is 350 trillion years. 350 trillion years of solar year, right? Right now, we are just talking about 1 day of Lord Brahma, which is 4,032 million years. So just think about, how this is ever going, and then how the whole universe gets exhausted in one breath of Lord Vishnu, right? And all the universes comes out. All these things are in one breath of Lord Vishnu. Yeah. So, anyways, any questions on this? It's nice. I think it's good to know some deep facts. This is the deep science which you will not find anywhere else. Any comments, questions?
Yeah, the only one is this 28th millennium. And how did they get this number of 120,400,000 years?
Yeah. Years have passed since the battle took place, right?
Mhm.
So each millennium is 4,300,000, correct?
Right. Mhm.
So if you multiply this by 28, what it will be?
But
Yeah.
I thought this is, so it's saying right at the end of Satyuga and beginning of Treta Yuga. So it's not
Mhm.
the current one, but
It's one millennium is the full cycle, right? Which is
Right.
all Kali Yuga, Satyuga, right? So it's
Right.
approximately we are in the 20th millennium now,
Mhm.
correct? So we are currently in the 20th millennium of Vivasvat Manu. Yeah.
Mhm.
Vivasvat Manu is the 7th Manu in Lord Dev's Brahmas. But in this particular millennium, which started from Vivasvat Manu, it's 20th millennium. Each millennium is 4,300,000. So if you multiply 4,300,000 by 28, it will be approximately 120,400,000 years.
Okay.
Correct? Right?
Yeah, because the shloka just talked about the end of Satyuga and beginning of Treta Yuga. So my assumption is it's the current millennium, which is within this last 4,300,000 years.
Yes,
Whereas,
yes, which is true. So millennium is a whole cycle.
Mhm.
Yeah. But in this particular millennium, the war happened at the end of Satyuga and beginning of Treta Yuga. Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, we can continue.
Yeah, we can talk later. Right? Yeah, there should be no confusion. This is pretty clear, right? 28 yugas have passed. 27 yugas have passed. We are in 28th millennium.
Mhm.
And the war happened around Satyuga and Treta Yuga, which is in this particular millennium. This 4,300,000 years, right? Within that. But before this, 27th millennium has already passed. So if you multiply 27 by 4,300,000, whatever, you will get some number, right? And then whatever the other yugas, correct? So approximately it's 120 million years, right? We'll again touch base, Prem sir, on that.
No,
Yeah.
let's continue.
Yeah. But the point is, all these quantitative facts are given, and then just going back, yeah, it's mentioned that Sur Asur Ranah Param Daruna Bhayankar Yuddha happened Treta Mukhe, Treta Yuga, and at the Narmada River in the Prathame Yuge. So I think in
Okay,
the
Prathama Yuga. Okay, that's okay. The Prathama Yuga part is the part which I missed. Okay.
right, yeah.
Prathama Yuga, it's not mentioned in the translation.
It says and the end of Satyug and the beginning of Treta Yuga.
Yeah. So that is Treta Mukhe. But the Prathame Yuga is not mentioned in the translation.
Prathame Yuga is the first millennium.
Yeah, so that's not mentioned in the translation.
That's not mentioned in the translation. Okay. Yeah.
That part is I got confused. So yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Yuga,
Right.
then the math makes sense.
Correct. Then for first millennium to 28th millennium, it is.
Yeah. I was assuming that it is in the current millennium.
Right.
That's why the numbers were not making sense.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, right. It was in the first millennium, right? Yeah. Cool. But you see, it's how interesting it is, isn't it? And then I keep asking those numbers, so everyone has to remember those now. So, right. Hare Krishna, Sachin.
Hare Krishna.
All right. So we'll continue to read. Isha.
रुद्रर्वशुभिरादित्यर आश्वेभ्यां पितृवनिभिः मरुद्भिरुभिः साद्यैर् विश्वदेवैर्मरुत्पतिं दृष्ट्वा वज्रधरं शक्रं रोचमानं स्वया श्रिया नाम शरण्यन् Rajan Mride Vrita Purasharaha. O king, when all the asuras came onto the battlefield, headed by Vritrasura, they saw King Indra carrying the thunderbolt and surrounded by the Rudras, Vasus, Adityas, Ashwini Kumars, Pitas, Vanis, Maruts, Vibhus, Sadhyas, and Vishwadevas. Surrounded by his company, Indra shone so brightly that his effulgence was intolerable to the demons. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah. So, O king is basically Sukhdev Goswami ji is reciting this to
Parikshit Maharaj.
Parikshit Maharaj, yeah. So he's saying that when Lord Indra, he started, right, with the Vraj, he came into the battlefield, and the Asuras also came by Vritrāsura, headed by Vritrāsura, yeah. So, all these are the names of all the teams surrounding the coming with the Lord Indra, yeah. And so Indra shone so brightly that his effulgence was intolerable to the demons, yeah. So that fight starts basically. Rinaji.
Namuchi Shambharo Anarva Vimurdha Rishvo Asura Hagriva Shankushira Viprachitirayo Mukha Puloma Vrishaparva Cha Prahetir Hetir Rutkala Daiteya Danva Yaksha Rakshansi Cha Sahasrasha Sumali Mali Pramukha Kartaswara Parikshada Pratishidhyadhendra Senagram Mrityurapi Durasadam अभ्यर्दन अन्न संभ्रांता सिंहनादेन दुर्मदा गदाभिः परिघैर बाणे प्रासमुद्गर तोमरे. Many hundreds and thousands of demons, demi-demons, yakshas, rakshasas, man-eaters, and others, headed by Somali and Mali, resisted the armies of King Indra, which even death personified cannot easily overcome. Among the demons were Namuchi, Sambara, Anarva, Dvimurdha, Rishabha, Asur, Haigriv, Sankushira, Viprachitti, Ayomukha, Puloma, Vrishparva, Pracheti, Heti, and Utkala. Roaring tumultuously and fearlessly like lions, these invincible demons, all dressed in golden ornaments, gave pain to the demigods with weapons like clubs, bludgeons, arrows, barbed darts, mallets, and lances. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So, like, see how the army of Lord Indra and an army of Vritrāsura is described here, right? Ajay?
Just one quick point in the previous one. Hagriva, that name which is mentioned as part of demons. I believe that in one of some place that Hagriva is also supposed to be a
yes, is one of the avatars of Lord Vishnu.
Lord Vishnu. So that's
Hayagreev's, yeah. It's a little bit different spelling, I think, but yeah, you are right. Yeah. Yeah, not to be confused by that.
Yeah.
Good point. Ajay?
शूलय पर श्रद्धय खड़गय शतघ्नि बिभिर्षुण्डिभिः सर्वतो अवकारेण शास्त्रैश्च विबुध Shabhan. Armed with lances, tridents, axes, swords, and other weapons like Satganis and Basundis, the demons attacked from different directions and scattered all the chiefs of the demigod armies. Hare Krishna.
Sachin?
न ते दृश्यन्त संचन्नाः शरजालैः समन्ततः पुंखा नुपुंख पति तैजो तीन शिव नभो घनैः All the stars in the sky cannot be seen when covered by dense clouds. The demigods, being completely covered by networks of arrows falling upon them one after another, could not be seen. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. नयति शस्त्रास्त्रवर्षोघा राशे दुहसुरसैनिकान् छिन्नाः सिद्धपथे देवे लघु हस्ते सहस्रधा. The showers of various weapons and arrows released to kill the soldiers of the demigods did not reach them because the demigods, acting quickly, cut the weapons into thousands of pieces in the sky. Prem sir?
Chinastra Sastruga Giri Shringa Drumopali Abhaya Varsan Sura Balam Chichindus Tamas Cha Purvatat. As their weapons and mantras decreased, the demons began showering mountain peaks, trees, and stones upon the demigod soldiers. But the demigods were so powerful and expert that they nullified all these weapons by breaking them to pieces in the sky as before. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Sukadeva Goswami ji is describing the fight between Indradev and Vṛtrāsura. Isha?
Tan akshatan sastimato nishamnya shastrastra pugair atavrita nataha drumer deshadbir vividadri shingar avikshitams tatarsur indar sanikan. When the soldiers of the demons, commanded by Vṛtrāsura, saw that the soldiers of King Indra were quite well, having not been injured at all by their volleys of weapons, not even by the trees, stones, and mountain peaks, the demons were very much afraid. Hare Krishna.
Rinaji?
सर्वे प्रयासा अभवन विमोहा कृता कृता देवगणेषु दैत्ये कृष्णानुकूलेषु यथा महत्सु शुद्रः प्रयुक्ता उशति रुक्षवाचः. When insignificant persons use rough words to cast false, angry accusations against saintly persons, their fruitless words do not disturb the great personalities. Similarly, all the efforts of the demons against the demigods who were favorably situated under the protection of Krishna were futile. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. That's what Sukadeva Goswami is saying very interestingly here, right? That when insignificant persons use rough words to cast false angry accusations against saintly persons, says here, Kshudreya Prayukta Ushati Rukshavacha. Like use the angry accusations, false accusations, Krishna Anukuleshu Yatha Mahatsu, right? Their fruitless words do not disturb the great personalities. Why? Because they are situated under the protection of Lord Sri Krishna. Similarly, even though all these demons, they were throwing all those things, Sarve Prayasa Abhavan Vimogha, yani ki nothing worked, because they were protected by Lord Krishna, is what is being mentioned. Right? It says here, there is a Bengali saying that if a vulture curses a cow to die, the curse will not be effective. Similarly, accusations made by demoniac persons against devotees of Krishna cannot have any effect. The demigods are devotees of Lord Krishna, and therefore the curses of the demons were futile, is what is being mentioned.
So one question here, this battle is supposed to be between Satyuga and Treta. So where, again, I'm just trying to timeline. The Krishna had already come by this time, or is it just generally speaking that the demons, since they were praying to God Vishnu, so that's why the word Krishna is used?
Yeah, exactly. I think this is very, very important to understand, right? So, Krishna Anukuleshu Yatha Mahatsu. This is written in Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Now, Srimad Bhagavatam is compiled by Vedas as we know about it.
Right.
But the Vedas ji compiled it based on the knowledge given to Vedas ji by Narad Muni.
Mhm.
Yeah, because Narad Muni is, and then Narad Muni got this knowledge from Lord Brahma.
Mhm.
So Srimad Bhagavatam has come from, like, let's say, Lord Brahma to Narad Muni to
Very
Ved Vyasji, and then Ved Vyasji to Sukdev Goswami ji. Yeah,
right.
and then further. Now Lord Brahma is in the materialistic world, right? Now Lord Brahma was born from where?
The lotus
From the
uh,
Nabhi of Lord
of
Vishnu,
Lord Vishnu, yeah.
right? So Lord Brahma was born from Nabhi of Lord Vishnu, and it is also mentioned that Lord Brahma did tapasya for thousands and thousands of years to know who is he and where did he come from, right? And it's even mentioned that Lord Brahma actually went through the lotus flower up to the root to find out where he came from, but he couldn't find anything. And then this no awaj came ki you need to do tapasya for millions of years. He did that, and Lord Vishnu appeared, gave him darshan, and then gave him all this knowledge. Now, in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1 and Canto 2, it was described that Lord Vishnu is also, there are 3 levels of Lord Vishnu. I mean, okay, so 3 levels means that 3 Lord Vishnu, right? So one is the one from which all the universes come out, right? Is called Garbhodakshai Vishnu. It's called Garbhodakshai Vishnu. He is sitting on the Sheshnag, right? On this one. The Garbhodakshai Vishnu se Kshirodakshai Vishnu aata hai. Yeah? Like when Garbhodakshai Vishnu creates all these universes, it says like this is our universe, it's just one of the small universes. There are millions of universes like this in the world. Yeah? Each universe comes out from Garbhodakshai Vishnu's mouth. That Garbhodakshai Vishnu's, when it comes out, each of the universe, there is a Kshirodakshai Vishnu.
Okay.
Yeah. So each of universe has Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. Like we saw, so from Garbhodakshai Vishnu, Lord Brahma comes out, Kshirodakshai Vishnu comes, and also Rudra Bhagwan, Lord Shiva comes, right? Another story for that. Now, where does Garbhodakshai Vishnu comes from? So Garbhodakshai Vishnu comes from something called Karnodakshai Vishnu.
Okay.
Now, Karnodakshai Vishnu, it is mentioned that Karnodakshai Vishnu comes from Golok. Golok is where Lord Krishna resides. Yeah.
Okay.
So the reason I told you all this is the Lord Krishna's avatar, which came on earth, was 5,000 years ago. But that is not the
same Krishna which is here. Okay.
Yeah, it's the same Krishna, but that is not just one which you are referring to. Lord Krishna was always there. Lord Krishna is Adi Anadi. So if you read Brahma Samhita, where Lord Brahmaji is praying to Lord Vishnu, right? And he's saying Adi Anadi Govinda. Yeah? He's saying Adi means he is the original. Anadi means no one before him. Govinda. Yeah, is the first Purush. He is the only Purush who was there. Right? So that is Lord Krishna. Also, if you see Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavad Gita, in the beginning, Lord Krishna tells Arjun. What does he tell Arjun? That I recited this Bhagavad Gita to whom? Right? If you remember, in Bhagavad Gita, Arjun, Lord Krishna tells that I told this to Suryadev.
Okay.
Millions of years ago. If you read, you will find it, I think, in the beginning chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Right? So which basically means that Lord Krishna was always there, right? And he says, right, you don't know your birth, but I remember everything. Right? So that's what the Lord Krishna is. So he is the Adi Anadi.
Okay.
And just to complete this, Prem, so a very good question is, it is also mentioned that Lord Krishna himself comes on the earth once in one day of Lord Brahma. So in the beginning, we were reading about one day of Lord Brahma, right? 4 billion, 32 million years.
Right.
And it's mentioned that Lord Krishna comes once in that millennium. Yeah. And luckily, it's also shown, and I'll show you certain things about that, is that we are so lucky that Lord Krishna came just 5,000 years ago. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is also avatar of Lord Krishna in the form of Radhe Rani, appeared before 500 years, just 500 years ago. So it says that we are so lucky that we are just, so close to that when Lord Krishna appeared, basically. Yeah. So cool, good question there. So that is the Krishna we are referring to, is the Adi Anadi Govinda. And that is why saying Krishna Anukuleshu Yatha Mahatsu, like one who is under the protection of Krishna. It doesn't matter if insignificant people caused false accusations and all that. Cool. Oh, so actually it's almost time, but let's read a couple of more shloks. Sachin?
Te sva prayasam vitatham nirikshya harava bhakta hata yuddha darpaha palayanaya jimukhe visrujya patim manaste Devatas&Vṛtrāsura. The asuras, who are never devotees of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, lost their pride in fighting when they found all their endeavors futile. Leaving aside their leader even in the very beginning of the fight, they decided to flee because all their prowess had been taken away by the enemy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So all the demons start to flee. We'll read one more shlok. Tarun, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, I'm late. Vṛtrāsurams tan anugam manasvi prathavata preshyas bhabhasha etatah palayitam preksha balam cha bhagnam bhayena tvitrena vihasya viraha. Seeing his army broken and all the asuras, even those known as great heroes, fleeing the battlefield out of intense fear, Vṛtrāsura, who was truly a great-minded hero, smiled and spoke the following words. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah. So Palayitam, like all the asuras are running, and then Vṛtrāsura started to speak the following words. Very interesting reading. I think we'll probably pause right here. Yeah. And we'll continue to read tomorrow. But very, very nice, interesting conversation between Vṛtrāsura and then Lord Indra and all that coming up. So we'll pause here. And again, it's a Kartik month. So we'll do Damodarastakam every day, and every Monday in our Srimad Bhagavatam, we'll hear the Damodarastakam. Yeah. So let's hear the Damodarastakam and then.
Kunde Svagosha Nimajantam Akhyapayantam Vididriswanilabhe Ananda Kunde Svagosha Nimajantam Akhyapayantam Tadiyeshitagneshu Bhaktenchitatva Puna Prematastab Sata Pritivande Tadiyeshitagneshu Bhaktenchitatva Puna Prematastab Sata Pritivande Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Can you send this link for this
I can-
Damodar Krishna?
Yeah, I can send that link. Yeah, I have downloaded it, but I'm sure I have the link somewhere. I'll send you. Very nice. Should hear this at least in the Kartik month.
I have a different one if somebody's interested.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of versions on YouTube, Ajay. If you search for Damodar Staka, you'll find that. But this one has explanation and
Right, yeah.
wording.
That's what makes it different.
So गजेंद्र जी, आपने अगर डाउनलोड किया हुआ है तो शेयर कर सकते हैं वो डाउनलोडेड वर्जन।
I can send the file itself.
एक
Actually,
बार आपने
जरूर
पहले
बताएं।
भेजा भी था वैसे,
हाँ, बहुत पहले कोई नहीं। I'll
बहुत
just
पहले।
अगर डाउनलोडेड वर्जन भेज दो तो क्या ऑफलाइन भी सुन सकते हैं।
yeah, correct. Yeah, anytime you're driving. But very nice. I think nice, great questions, Prem sir. Very nice. And as usual, like every chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, we have found, like since we have been reading, there's always like Vishnu Stuti and Narayan Stuti, right? Krishna Bhagwan's Stuti. We read about Bhishma Stuti, then Kunti Mata Stuti, and so many things. It's just so amazing. And yeah, this is the katha about Bhagwan, right? Bhagavad Gita has been spoken by Bhagwan.
Yeah.
Srimad Bhagavatam is katha about Bhagwan. It's very nice. I mean, this is the most important, purest Puran. So thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow at 9:30. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।